hit that like, subscribe button, and keep that king mentality. Always dripping, never tripping. All I need is my money. And the hustle continues no matter what. So I want to start by saying this. Respect to all the hardworking, honest men out there, all the single fathers who are raising their kids. Tonight, this talk is dedicated to an old Derek man from the rig, my boy Jerry. So he came to me one day, had a coffee in one hand and frustration in the other. And he asked me, why, man? Why is it that when the mom is out here doing dope, running wild, and not taking care of her kids, she gets off easy? But when it's us dads doing the hard work, they take half our paychecks and call it a day. Excuse me. Now, Jerry's not a man to complain. He's a man who works 16-hour shifts without blinking. But his question was real, and it deserves a real answer. So, Jerry, this one's for you. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it funny but honest, because that's what you'd want. So let's get right to it. Jerry's talking about the double standard that single fathers face. Society tells us to respect women, and I agree 100%. But Jerry's beef isn't with so much with women. His beef is with the system that seems to think all men are deadbeats by default. When the mom's in the picture, the system will bend over backwards to support her. And hey, if she's a good mom, doing her best, that's great. But Jerry's talking about a very different kind of mom. The one who's out there making TikToks with a vape in one hand and a Four Loko in the other, right? Forgetting she has kids at home. Meanwhile, Jerry's at the rig working 12, 14 hours, 16 hours a day. And he's the one getting letters from the general attorney's office saying, we're going to need some more money from you, bud. You know, it's crazy. Now, let's break it down. When a single mom has the kids, she gets child support, food stamps, government assistance, and a pat on the back. When a single dad has the kids, he gets a handshake and a good luck, brother. You know, what else Jerry gets? Bills. Bills for health insurance, bills for daycare, bills for school supplies. Meanwhile, the mom who Jerry says is out there living her best life gets off easy. You know, now let me be clear. I'm not here to bash all moms. There are plenty of great mothers out there who deserve every bit of respect and support they get. But Jerry's talking about the ones who aren't doing their part. You know, the ones who are making it harder for dads like him. So, let me tell you a little about Jerry. He's a big guy with a heart just as big. Right? He works on the rigs, putting in the kind of hours that would make most people cry and pray, you know. He doesn't just bring home the bacon, he brings home the whole hog. But it's not just about money for Jerry. He's the one packing lunches, helping with homework, you know, making sure his kids know they're loved. He's doing it all by himself. And let me tell you, if Jerry had half the help that some moms get, he'd probably have his kids in private school, taking piano lessons and learning French by now. But instead, he's spending his weekends fixing the roof and budgeting for groceries because the system doesn't seem to care about dads like him. Right? Now, let's flip the script for a second. Imagine if the roles were reversed and Jerry was the one living wild while the mom was busting her tail on the rigs. Do you think the general attorney's office would just shrug and say, oh, well, boys will be boys? Heck no. They'd be at his front door faster than a pizza delivery guy, demanding child support, back pay, and probably his left kidney. But when it's the dad taking care of the kids, crickets. Silent. And you know what's crazy? Jerry told me the general attorney doesn't even seem to care that he's doing it all. They just keep sending them bills like, hey, you still owe us for this, that, and the other thing. It's like the system saying, congratulations on being a great dad. Now, give us half your check. Here's the truth. Being a single father is one of the toughest jobs out there. Society doesn't give you much credit. The system doesn't give you much help. And people are quicker to judge you than to support you. But guys like Jerry don't do it for the credit. They do it because they love their kids. They do it because it's the right thing to do. And they do it because at the end of the day, they know their kids are worth it. Right? But let's get serious for a moment. The system needs to change. It needs to recognize that dads like Jerry are just as important as moms. It needs to provide support for all parents who are stepping up, regardless of gender. If the mom isn't doing her part, the system should hold her accountable. Just like it would if the dad was slacking off. Fair is fair. And kids deserve to be raised by parents who care. Not just by the parent who gets stuck with the responsibility. You know? So, to Jerry and all the single fathers out there, I want to say this. You're doing an incredible job. You deserve respect. Not just from your kids, but from society as a whole. And even if the system doesn't always see your worth, your kids do. Believe that. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the bills, the stress, or the sacrifices. It's about the love you're giving your kids. The kind of love that will shape who they become. You know? Jerry, you're not just a Derek, man. You're a great dad. You're not just a great driller. You're a great dad. You're the kind of guy who shows up, works hard, and never quits, no matter how tough things get. To all the single fathers listening, keep doing what you're doing. You're proving that fatherhood is more than just a title. It's an action. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and loving your kids with everything you've got. And to the system, it's time to catch up. Dads like Jerry deserve better. So thank y'all for listening. Let's give a round of applause for Jerry and every single father out there stepping up and making it happen. You guys are the real MVPs. With that, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm out.